Well, everybody's keeping an eye, of course, on jobless claims. The feeling is that we are going to get a big drop in jobless claims, and we do. 779,000 drops below 800,000 for the first time in about 4 weeks. The forecast was for 830, so that's much better than people anticipated. However, the thing you have to keep in mind is that we are not out of the woods yet, and you and I will talk about this later on your show, I know. With the airline announcements, American Airlines, 13,000 job cuts coming, United Airlines, 14,000 job cuts coming if they don't pass additional stimulus. So we're not out of the woods, but this is a bit of good news going forward. That's a drop of 33,000 from the previous week's level, and so we'll keep an eye on how this is going. The other number out this morning, non-farm productivity, it was expected to fall. It falls more than expected, down 4.8%. The forecast was for a 3% gain as unit labor costs rose 6.8%. The productivity number is very hard to interpret these days because of the layoffs and the incredible swings in GDP from which this comes. We saw the big drop in the third quarter and productivity went way up. And now we've come down in terms of GDP and productivity way down. So you just kind of have to dismiss that, look beyond it at the moment.
Yeah, Mike, the crystal ball out to look forward. We've seen the non-farm payrolls go from 50 to 70 to 100. You've seen that a zillion times, going down and going up. But is there a new velocity to the pickup here?
No, I think what it is more people are starting to put their forecasts out and incorporating the latest data. We had the big ADP number yesterday that will affect people's thinking. But the other thing is this is January, and seasonal adjustment factors are usually very big in January because normally we hire a lot of temporary retail workers, plus the UPS and Amazon hiring a lot of delivery people to get through the holiday season, and they lay them all off in January. Now, this year we may not see them laid off because they weren't hired because of the COVID economy. And so the seasonal adjustment factors will tend to add to job growth. At least that's the bet among economists.
We could see the market reaction, Mike. 10-year yields higher to the highest levels now since March of last year, shooting up to 1.15%. Holy cow. Wow, it's a lot of yield considering the fact of where we are over in Europe.
If I'd said that to you 5 years ago or 10
it would
years
be
ago.
A strange conversation. We're seeing stocks near session highs, at session highs. Mike, how good is this report if you start digging under the hood? I know you've come on and you've talked about the fluctuations, the idea of how messy it is. Can you give us a sense of how much comfort people can take from this particular report that we are making ongoing progress?
Well, we are making ongoing progress, and that is good news. We could slip back. It gives an argument to Janet Yellen and to Joe Biden, but we are making progress. The thing you have to keep in mind is that still with 779,000 jobless claims, that's still above the highest point we got to during the great financial crisis, and we are now just about 1 year into the COVID crisis. So we're still seeing a labor market that's in a lot of trouble and needs a lot of help. We've dropped now to 17.8 million in terms of continuing claims, but a lot of people now on the the additional claims, over 3 million on that, and that expires in March. So there is an urgency in Washington to get something done to keep those people, keep their heads above water.